we are starting our trip here. Oh!
With a spearing of the...
Yeah. So here is Mike Rollinson and his grandson Zion. Oh, are you in it?
Hello, yes I am.
Yeah.
I look good.
And this is Mike here, and we're at the trailhead of Woodpecker Ridge, and on our way to Mount Jefferson. And it's a beautiful day, and notice the fireweed. This was this area was burned about 2 or 3 years ago, so that at least reduces the risk of fire on our trip. Here they come, ready or not. Oh, 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 there goes one. Here comes Zion. Here comes Mike. There they go. Maybe I better turn the right side up. There's the mountain. Okay, now, here comes the intrepid climbers. Where are they? Oh, here he comes. Here comes Zion. Look at that style. Zion, do you have a comment at this time? Are you glad your grandpa brought you on this beautiful wide trail?
Absolutely.
Now let's see if we can get Grandpa in. Can you wave your hand, Mike? Where are you? It's hard to see here. There you are. I got you. Can you say something that, say an Army or a Marine saying, something that...
Hoorah!
Hoorah! Okay. And then we have to go up this ridge here through all this burnt these trees, and then our goal is up there. I hope you can see the mountain. And we're going to hike a ridge right up there somewhere. Zion, what is your inner feelings at this point? What are your plans for the future? What are your inner drives, your unsatisfied kazenzas? And more importantly, do you feel more like you do now than you did a while ago?
Kinda.
Is there a way we would characterize this climb so far, Zion?
Steep.
What was it?
Steep.
Oh, steep. Okay, and now for the grandfather, Mike Rollinson, who is the oldest person on the mountain. Do you have a Marine or a Ranger saying for us to keep us going and encouraging us?
Rangers, well, Rangers lead the way.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess we can go then. Oh, low battery. Oh, I better close it.
here we see a wild man.
A wild
A
beast.
wild
of a man.
beast of a man, yeah. I mean, look at him.
This one?
Horrifying, yeah.
This one that's been to
Very
Vietnam 3
rare
times?
creature. Very dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, it might attack me right after this video is done recording.
Oh. Well, this is the third person here, Huntington, 2 Mikes and a Zion, and we are planning to climb this mountain, Mount Jefferson, tomorrow. Get an early start. We did worry quite a bit that we wouldn't have water, but maybe you can see this. Came around the bend and there was a snowfield about 8 feet across. There it is. Oh, ow, oh, ow, oh. And that saved our trip. Let's, if I can zoom in on it. There it is. But there was no water from the trailhead at 4,400 feet up to our current elevation of 6,600, and we didn't know whether we would have water supply. If we didn't have that snowfield, we would not be able to continue. But we will have water. We'll go up that ridge where those trees are lined up, and up where you see the trees stop. Just above that, there's a ridge that we'll have to traverse over to, and it'll go up to that pointy thing on the far left. Well, not as pointy as the one in the middle left. And then we'll skirt along that ridge between the 2 pointy things and look down on Jeff Park Glacier, and then go on to that saddle and over to the base of the pinnacle, and that time we will decide whether to do the pinnacle. We are prepared to do it. We have ropes and the harnesses and all that, but we don't know exactly what the challenge is there. It's supposed to be grade 4, which we should be able to scramble. Okay, well, there you have it. And there they are. Grandfather and grandson. But goodbye for now. Continuing from where Mike and Zion are camped, Mike Huntington found a little spot here that was fairly cushiony, and this tent weighs just about a pound. I don't really know how to set it up properly, but it uses the hiking poles to support it, which means we don't have to carry extra weight for other poles. Tonight I don't think I'll have to cook anything. I'll just have some bacon and some jelly beans, maybe some sunflower seeds. And the first job is to go get some snow and melt it with our stoves and tank up and maybe wash a little bit. Oh, hey, that's all for now. This is the snowfield, about 8 feet across, or 10, maybe 30 feet long, and no other sign of snow that I can see anywhere. There's old Jefferson. Hope they don't have to rename Jefferson these days. Actually, probably should. We can give it its Aboriginal name. And here's that snowfield again. I just filled a big bag full of it, and I got it on my backpack. There's our camp. Well, can't see our camp, but it's just in front of those trees. Yeah, beautiful alpine flowers. These are heather, and the bees are busy gathering nectar from heather. And then the bright red on here is Indian paintbrush. This pepper's all over the hillsides here where there's been snow recently. I think we're more likely to see the Indian paintbrush. In the distance there's Zion working on something, and then you can see the tent where Mike is working, and my tent's up in the trees behind it. And here are the intrepid grandpa and grandson, Mike and Zion, skirting around a rock. We're in the process of figuring out which ridge we need. The goal is to the left of where you see snow, but to the right of that hump in the left center. And the trick is finding the easiest route around that hump and then up on the ridge to those that sharp tooth on the right in the middle is molar tooth, M-O-H-L-E-R tooth, and then it extends along that ridge to the south up to the summit pinnacle, which you see right there. Video time. Here's Grandpa and Zion. We've just reached some altitude. I don't know. Hey, can you read altitude, Zion?
On my phone?
Yeah.
I think so if I go to the map. 1 second.
I'd guess we're at about 7,000. And in the distance, you can see Three Finger Jack with that 2,000 foot drop off onto the east. And then you can see all three sisters now. Each bump is a sister. The one in the middle is actually farther south. That's South Sister. The one on the left is North Sister, and the one on the right is Middle Sister. And there may be a forest fire or something creating, but we have a north wind, which is favorable for weather. We just came up over a tough outcropping of rock, and Zion went to the right. Mike and I went to the left, and we met at the top, and have to reposition the rope. Zion has been carrying the rope, and we are all grateful. It's 5 pounds, and fortunately he is built like a mountain goat and seems to handle it. Here's our mountain again. And we see a little more of all three sisters.
Oh yeah,
You can see actually the middle sister
right.
in the middle. No, the middle sister is the cone-shaped one, and it's actually north of South Sister. And South Sister, because they kind of in a curved triangle,
Yeah.
South Sister shows up in the middle, and North Sister, you can see it's got kind of a craggy top, and it's kind of like this. And then Mount Washington is the one barely sticking above the
Yeah.
smoke layer, and then Three Finger Jack is in the middle.
You feel
Okay.
better?
Huh?
You feel better?
I guess.
You want give me the rope?
Sure.
Okay. So we are at 8,200, right, Mike?
Yeah.
And we see smoke coming over the top of the mountain, and we're thinking we better turn back. But there's the summit, and it's as close as we're going to get today. And let's see, the smoke is hiding the sisters now, or partly.
Oh yeah. Wow. Jeez.
And the smoke is even making it hard to see Mary's Peak, but it's out there somewhere. And the moon is up there somewhere.
So where are we going down?
We're going to traverse over to that scree field.
And our goal
And
is
go
right
to
down
the
there.
snow.
in that little snow field, the farthest one down. That's where we got our water. We're, instead of coming up this ridge, which is awful, we're going to traverse over to that slope and plunge step down. We'll probably fall on our butts a lot, but it's going to be better than going down.
That's okay, just keep moving. As long as there's not a ledge, you can go over.
So we are on our way down to the
Yeah, just keep sliding. You have to slide.
couloir, I guess you'd call it, instead of trying to down climb that ridge. And Zion is going the way that his grandpa did, but it's very loose and not much to hold on to. Once we get down to that slope, then we can plunge step. But this is a dicey part of the down climb. Here we are down climbing still. You can see Mike in the lead down there, just behind Zion. And we're trying to find the best way to either plunge step, or what I just did for a while was glissade on my bottom on the scree. We want to get down to that little valley right there. Maybe you can see the little snowfield. Our camp is, see, where's that snowfield? Oh, there it is, right in the center of the view. That's the one that allowed us to get enough water, leave me to get enough water. And Mike's tent is just to the right of that little orange thing you might be able to see near the trees. So I got down to 100 yards down this slope and realized that I wanted to film Mike and Zion, and the camera was gone. I had just glissaded on my butt on some big dinner plate like these, and it came off before I realized it, and I had to back climb on this scree and found it here. And it was a little hard to see because you can see maybe that there's lots of red lava about the size of this thing all over. Not quite as red, but I was worried that I wouldn't see it, or that it was buried in the scree. But we made it. Here's the Rollinson team, glissading and sometimes plunge stepping down the scree. I just got back. They had to wait while I climbed back up the scree to get my camera. 2 steps up, 1 step back, slidey, slidey. This will be a event that the Rollinsons will remember and never want to do again. But we had beautiful scenery and alpine camping and good conversation. And that's all we need. Bye now. Here comes the commander-in-chief down from the mountain. His grandson is already down to the cabin, or the camp, we think. So you can see what we just came down. Mainly that scree slope, not the rocky stuff on the right. That's what we went up. We came down the scree slope, but a lot of this was rock, big dinner plate stuff like this. So you just start sliding and go onto your bottom, and that's when I lost my camera. I had to go back and get it. So Captain Rollinson,
Yes, sir.
would you have a summary of this trip that we could document?
The friendship and fellowship has been great, but do not do this route. I can not recommend anything about this route
Okay.
other than the scenery.
Okay, scenery. Okay, it gets 1 point for scenery.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's our camp down there, and we think that Zion is down there. Let's see, can't see for sure. There's our little snowfield, and then the orange tent to the right of it. We see the heather and the Indian paintbrush every so often where snow had accumulated and now is melted. There's more of them. Beautiful. And here we are at the base camp, and Grandpa and grandson are getting water supplies and starting to think about dinner. Oh, Zion's already got his going.
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
This is a breakfast skillet. I made it while I was waiting for you guys, and never finished it. So
Oh, what is it?
it's a breakfast skillet. It's hash browns, scrambled eggs mixed with pork, and then there's peppers and onions.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it is. Because I brought extra food, so
Ah,
might as well eat with extra.
yeah. So that's going on at base camp, and up at the summit, somebody may be climbing up there.
Breakfast, dinner.
Can't tell though. Our route this morning was up this to the left of those trees, that tree line, and up that ridge. We went up that ridge, not to the little pinnacles, but maybe 700 feet below that. We'll be turned back.